All right, good evening. Welcome to the April 7th Claims Committee meeting. At this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order, and I ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilwoman Haroyan. Councilman Andujar.
Present.
Councilman Ritz.
Present.
Councilman Trafficante. Council Vice President Wall.
Here.
Council President Marino. Present.
Thank you. The first item of business would be public comment. If there's anybody here in the chambers this evening who would like to speak on agenda matters only, please step up to the podium. You'd have 4 minutes to speak. State your name and address for the record. There being none, Tom, is anyone online who would like to make public comment?
There is no public comment online.
All right, thank you. At this time, I will close public comment. This time, I'm going to entertain a motion to adjourn executive session pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 42465A2.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Haroyan. Councilman Andujar.
Yes.
Councilman Ritz.
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall.
Yes.
Council President Marino. Yes.
Okay, very good. We are in executive session. All right, at this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to return to open session.
So moved.
Second.
All, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Haroyan, Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz,
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Marino. Yes.
All right, thank you. Let me just state for the record that there were votes were taken during the executive session. So at this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to seal the executive session minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Haroyan, Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz,
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Marino. Yes.
All right, moving right along. At this time, I'm going to move on to the approval of minutes. This time, I'm going to entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from the March 3rd regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Haroyan,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz,
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Marino. Yes.
Thank you. This time I'm going to entertain a motion to seal, to approve of the sealed minutes from the March 3rd, 2025 executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Haroyan,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz,
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Marino. Yes.
All right, and having no further business before this committee, at this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, signify by saying nay. The ayes have it. This meeting is adjourned. We'll start the next one, Mr. Ryan, in what? 5 minutes, 3 minutes? So you, 3 minutes.
like to bring tonight's Services and Licensing Committee to order. April 7th, 2025. Clerk, could I please have a roll call?
Councilwoman Graziano, Councilman Andujar,
Present.
Councilman Ritz, Councilman Trafficante,
Present.
Council Vice President Wall,
Here.
Councilwoman Haroyan,
Present.
Council President Reno. Present.
Could I please have the approval of the minutes from the last meeting, March 3rd, 2025?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Anyone here tonight that would like to publicly comment on docket items only?
Through the chair.
Roll call.
Councilman Andujar,
Present.
Councilman Ritz, Councilman Trafficante,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Councilwoman Haroyan,
Yes.
Council President Reno. Yes.
Public comment now on docket items only. If there's anyone here from the public that would like to comment on anything that is on the docket tonight. To the microphone. Please state your name and your address.
Good evening. I'm Ethan Hartley from Ethan Hartley from Lexington Avenue. And I'm here to discuss the license and entertainment petition from El Laham. Me and a couple of my neighbors and my wife showed up, I think about a month ago for this same proposal. And there was an issue at the time with the ownership being transferred at a satisfactory degree. I don't know what the status of that is. I assume since it's before the council again, that it is probably moved forward. If that is the case, I would reiterate my comments from the record from last month, just indicating that the concerns that we've had about this business, understanding that the ownership is theoretically changing. The new owners did not seem to dispute any of the claims that were made about the prior ownership. And by extension, the concerns that the neighborhood would have about a liquor and entertainment license going into this business. I won't reiterate all of my points ad nauseum to save everyone some time, but I would say to grant a liquor and an entertainment license would be you'd have to clear a huge burden of responsibility for that in my view. And this business with its current reputation has not done that in my opinion. So I would ask humbly and politely that the licensing board would take that into consideration when reviewing this current petition. If they're able to prove that they can do business, maybe it's time to bring it back. But at the current moment, I would be firmly against this. And thanks for your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Is there anyone else here from the public that would like to speak tonight on agenda items only?
Rebecca Hartley, Lexington Ave. Similar to my neighbors, I was also here last month, so I'm not going to reiterate everything that I shared. But just my main concerns are there are already noise issues taking place from this business. There's very, very serious traffic issues taking place. And at the end of the day, this isn't a neighborhood. And this business has not shown that they cared about the neighborhood. If new ownership changes this, that's wonderful, but that's an issue to address in the future. Right here, right now, the entertainment license and the liquor license should not be passed. And this is where residents have chosen to make their homes and to start families. And by passing this, you're going to be driving away actual Cranston residents, people who want to better for the city. So I really implore each of you to listen to the residents of Cranston. It is their best interest that you should prioritize. We are doing our parts to be good neighbors, and this business has not shown any effort to be a good neighbor. Please, please listen to the residents and do not pass a liquor or an entertainment license. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else here that would like to speak on agenda item?
Hello, my name is Ernesto Perez. I live Yeah, I live in 435 Pontiac Avenue. 435 Pontiac Avenue. I have been a resident since 2016. It's a great neighborhood, but I have to say, as my neighbors are saying, the current leadership of that establishment, they have zero respect for basic noise and times, speed limits, cleanliness, so many things. I have two children. One of them almost got run over once. I had to talk to one of the drivers. They play live music till 2, 3 in the morning. And it's just a bad mix overall. And I don't think adding a liquor license will help in any case for this. So it's a bad mix having that and having a family. It's not working out. And I had seen even disposal of like cooking oil in the parking lot. I actually fell. I scratched my chin. I was working with all my children. And there's a lot of incidents that didn't help the reputation again for the stuff. So I don't think adding a liquor license will improve anything. So thanks for the consideration.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public that would like to speak tonight on docket items on the agenda tonight?
Move this down.
State your name and your address.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Runlet and I live on 16 Lexington Avenue. Yeah, I want to echo the sentiments of the last few people who have come up. I have concerns about the direction this neighborhood is going in. I am a lifelong resident of 16 Lexington Ave, and it's also the house that my mother grew up in. My grandparents bought the house in 1959, and we are still there. And I think change is great for a neighborhood, but just in the last few years, the businesses that have come into the Ralph Square area haven't really done anything to adhere to the established sound ordinance guidelines, sanitary guidelines with trash disposal. I also work at Artist Exchange on Ralph Square, and I've been there for about 13 years. So I'm very familiar with this neighborhood and business practices. And I also am concerned because a lot of young families have chosen this neighborhood from out of state, from different parts of this state, because of the values that it's always, stood for. It's always been a very family-friendly neighborhood, and it's quiet, it's peaceful, and I'm at that stage of life where I am being faced with the decision of whether or not I am going to continue my family's legacy and keep the house in the family. And I am seriously considering moving out, and it's the last thing I want to do. This isn't directly about the issue at hand, but I also have neighbors that moved in about 3 or 4 years ago who have just
Vanessa, it's docket.
the
items on
docket.
the
I'm sorry.
docket items
I'm
only.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm not staying on topic. So my main concern is that the businesses, it might be leading this neighborhood into a territory that makes it less family friendly and makes longtime residents not want to stay here. So thank you.
Anyone else from the public that would like to speak on docket items only?
Evening. I'm Tom Sarkeesian. I live at 437 Pontiac Ave, right across the street. Sarkeesian, Sarkiisian. Their back parking lot is directly facing my front. Not to reiterate everything, but we've been there for 35 years now. Really, this is not to echo exactly what Vanessa just said, but it's not in keeping with our neighborhood right now. We're not trying to keep out family business, small business. We're all for that, but all done responsibly. We could just table this for a while and maybe look at it further on down the road. I think it's a little premature to just award them this coveted liquor license that's going to impact us so greatly. So thanks for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Sarkeesian. Let's hear from the public that would like to speak tonight. All right, public comment is now closed. Move on to the public hearing. And the first one is additional hours of Victorine license for Abby Honeydew Donuts. Could I please, is there anyone here from Honeydew License tonight? Come right up. Please just state your name and your address.
Lexi Spencer, 1445 Warwick Avenue, Warwick, Rhode Island.
Do you have anything you want to tell us tonight?
No.
No?
Yeah. Just, I
Okay,
mean, our opening hours are 5 to 6 every day. That's all.
okay, thank you. Could I please have a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you so much.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz, Councilman Trafficante,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Councilwoman Haroyan,
Yes.
Council President Reno. Yes.
Class BV liquor license transfer at Touch Lounge located at LLC 961 Dyer Avenue. Next restaurant at 961. Clerk, is all that paperwork in?
There is one objection from Paul Pisano.
Okay. Anyone here from the restaurant tonight? Could you please come up to the podium, state your name and address?
Alexandria Molina. Oh. Oh. Alexandria Molina, 147 Delaney Street in Providence.
We did receive a letter today of an outstanding bill. Were you aware of that? No. Rose, do you have a copy of it? And you are the new owners?
Yes.
I believe it was from an attorney, Paul Pisano, out of West Greenwich.
So, Madam Chair, if I may, there is a letter of objection from Attorney Paul Pisano. He represents MS Walker of Rhode Island and claims there is an outstanding bill of $328.05 that is owed. So just so you know that under Rhode Island law, this committee cannot approve the transfer unless and until this is satisfied.
May I say something? Diego Molina, 140, Diego Molina, M-O-L-I-N-A, 147 Delaney Street. For that reason, we withheld some cash out of them when we purchased it. So in case of something like this happen. So if it comes to it, we will pay for it.
That's fine, Madam Chair. So what the committee can do is what we similarly do when there are outstanding items, that this can be granted subject to complete discharge of this lien. And I would just ask that once that's satisfied, that you present that evidence to the clerk's office. Usually Paul Pisano, he's represented several of companies in a similar situation, he usually sends a letter to the clerk's office saying that the outstanding debt has been satisfied. But if you want to be absolutely certain, come in with some type of receipt that this has been discharged, and then your license will take effect if the committee sees fit to grant it now.
Can I make a motion to approve contingent or subject to the complete discharge of said lien?
Second.
Any discussion?
Madam Chair, if I may, address the applicants. Hi, so I'm your councilman. I see that you have enough parking. My only concern is that there is a dumpster in the back. And when I visited the property for the last several days, it's been open. So if you could just please close it. I see that you have enough parking. I see that there has never been any complaints. So I wish you guys luck. I thank you for investing in Cranston and, making it your dream. But the only question I have is, the real question I have is, on Sunday, where Monday's a holiday, I see that you guys are closing at 4 p.m. So you guys don't want to continue that, like 4th of July, let's say it falls on a Monday. Sunday, you're not going to extend your hours, you're just going to close.
We really haven't decided on that yet. I was like, it's a lot more. We want to start a little bit small. We want to start a little bit like small, and then we will see how it goes.
Okay, I understand that, but we need to put this on record, because if you do decide to stay open, and then we don't want you trouble and ever to come back here because you stayed open extra hours. So if you want to amend anything, maybe I could ask the chair if we could review this in 60 days, because a few holidays are coming up with Memorial Day and Labor Day and 4th of July. Maybe you could come back in 60 days and just say, hey guys, I like it. I want to extend my hours. I just don't want you to ever get in trouble. So that's why I'm only doing this for your good belief. And you understand what that bill is, correct?
Yes, it's the previous owner's bill, because we're.
But do you know what it is?
Yeah, for the.
It's a liquor bill. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, just wanted to be clear.
Yep.
But thank you again for investing in, and especially in my ward. But I just, hopefully the chair could put a 60-day review so you could come back and just let us know about your hours.
Thank you. Could I please have a vote? Roll call.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino? Yes.
Next item is a new Class B liquor license, Malinos LLC, doing business as Malinos Pizzeria, located at 889 Dyer Ave. Is there anyone here? Please state your name and your address.
Jeff Merlino, 232, Jeff Merlino, M-E-R-L-I-N-O, 2325 Cranston Street.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us tonight?
No, the things are going well, and we're just looking to kind of expand our business a little bit by adding the liquor license. We're enjoying being in Cranston, and that's really all we have to add right now.
You have an outstanding letter of taxation standings. Were you aware of that?
I wasn't. I checked last week, and I thought we were all up to date, but that's something I can look into and we'll take care of right away.
With the letter?
No, we have not.
Okay, so good standing from the state you're looking for? Okay, I think we should be all set. We did apply for that, and it was my understanding that it was in process, but I'll look into that right away.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Solicitor, could I ask for approval of this, subject that we get the pending letter from taxation of good standings?
Correct, yes.
Could I please have a motion?
Yes, motion to approve, subject to receiving the Rhode Island Division of Taxation letter of good standing.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Andahauer?
Yes, thank you for expanding. As you know, you're in a wooded area back there, but I went by there, the trash seems fine, everything's covered. So I just want to welcome you and thank you for expanding.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Could I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Haroyan?
Yes,
Council President Marino? Yes.
thank you. Show was, and there is nothing listed this month. Committee matters carried over from last month. holiday sales license, Atwood Greenhouse. Is anyone here from Atwood Greenhouse tonight? No. All right, I would like that to be carried over again. I did go by this weekend and it looked like it was operating in business, so that is a concern.
Motion to continue.
Second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Yes. Thank you. I see Economic Director Franklin Paulino was here this evening. If through the chair, maybe we can ask Director Paulino, since this has been continued on more than one occasion, to make an actual site visit to Atwood Greenhouses in order to get compliance and a response. That would be a prudent thing to do. Thanks.
Yes.
What I would do is, I will visit, this business and see what's, going on in there. This week, I'll stop by over there and give a report back to the council.
Okay, so I should hear back from you by the Friday?
Yes, yes. you will.
Okay, thank you. And Solicitor Vivekio also, if you could CC him on this.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And if I may, through the chair, Director Paulino, they should not be operating because of this matter being outstanding. So please be sure to stress that to them. Thanks.
May I please have a vote to continue this?
So moved.
Councilwoman Graziano. Oh, we already have a vote. Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar.
Yes.
Councilman Ritz, Councilman Trafficante,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Councilwoman Haroyan,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, next item, Solicitor Vivekio, could I ask your guidance? I'd like to, for B, C, and D, they're all in regards in business.
Yes, sure.
Lappin doing business as, and here from 91 Ralph Square, the business. Could you please come up here, state your name and your address?
Hi, Hanna Kosefi, 80 Woods Lane, Cranston, Rhode Island, 02921. Yes, first name Hanna, last name Kosseifi.
Hi, Charbel, Charbel, Kosefi, Kosseifi, 70 Burlingame Road, Cranston.
Oh, has the sale gone through already? Are you there now the owners of the business?
So, yeah, so we have the purchase sales agreement and the lease agreement, because we're trying to, be set up once the sale goes through, which is by April 15. But everything is still going with it.
All right, so you're asking for licenses and you're not the owners at this point, correct? Okay, we're gonna continue this, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you. This business is working without a fire inspection since December. This business should not be open today. They do not have a license to have food. They do not have a liquor license, and they never have had a liquor license. So for us to grant a liquor license, it's gonna have to be a lot of changes, and it won't be just open all day and night. It'll be very strict. An entertainment license, they have now from 4 PM till 10 at night, Thursday through Sunday only. And the neighbors that are here have been woken up at 3:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning by parties in the parking lot. People are sleeping there now that are working there. They have been shown no respect, and they are coming to advocate. They don't want a liquor license. They don't want an entertainment. But my biggest concern is this business has been operating without a fire safety inspection. That's unacceptable. The fire marshal is here. He's reachable by phone 5 days a week.
Yes, and we totally, we agree, but we have nothing to do with the business as of till we take ownership of it.
Right, so I can't grant you anything because you're not the owners. You're not in possession of the business.
We have a lease that started on April 1st, and a purchase and sales agreement, and we sent that all to the clerk. We have insurance.
You just stated April 15th you were taking over.
Yes, but the lease.
At this point, I'm not comfortable granting any licenses. They don't have any right now either, so they probably shouldn't be open today. I'm gonna ask this committee as a courtesy to you to continue this. If we were to not deny everything, including the liquor license, I don't believe you could come back before us for an entire year.
But what does, I agree, but what does that have to do with, I've never seen somebody get attacked for not having anything to do with it. We're getting yelled at by the people, by you guys. We have absolutely nothing to do with this. We're coming to improve this building, this business, this place we grew up in Cranston. My family members in Cranston are 18 people. We're voting members. We're people of the city. I grew up in this city. I went to school in this city. I'm being attacked for somebody else's issues and problems. We're coming to fix this whole.
We totally understand your concern. We totally understand your concern.
As new
We have
business
multiple-
owner, once you own the business,
Totally.
you can put in the application to get your victory license, your entertainment license, and even ask for the liquor license.
Yeah, no problem.
Right now, they don't have a liquor license, so it's not just a transfer. But my suggestion would be to any business in Cranston, if you're operating or trying to operate, would be to get your fire inspection.
Totally. So yes, we will never operate if there's any problem. We never have. As I mentioned last time, we've been in business for 20 years. We have multiple businesses. We have never, ever in our whole entire life had any problem. We have never had any complaints with any of our businesses. We own three businesses on Atwells Avenue. We own businesses in Cumberland. We're all over the place. We have never, ever had a problem. We always go in and improve. We invest a lot of money. We always make things better all the time.
I'm hoping that can happen in Cranston, in my ward. I am the councilwoman for Ward 2, so I
And
take
would
this very
never
serious.
operate If there's any issue. And we have not taken over yet, and we're still in the process of taking over, and we're having difficulties moving forward because of certain problems. You know, like there's clearance from different type of stuff we're working on. We have multiple lawyers working. We would never take over and have an issue with anyone.
Okay,
Not the neighbors.
thank
not
you.
Guys, not no one, not our reputation.
Were you aware that they were operating without some of these licenses?
What is it? No, we have no knowledge of any of that.
It's just we're
Madam
asking
Chair, if
for
I
a
may.
chance To be given a chance to show ourselves and show what we could do to improve this business, but we just need a chance.
And we're out there, like if you look at any of our previous businesses, we've never had a problem. We have entertainment, we have liquor license, we have restaurants and lounges on Atwells Avenue, and we've been doing business for over 5 years, and we have not yet have one issue. Always over secured, we always bring in, always careful with our customers, just everything. We've never ever had a problem.
We just need a chance to be able to prove ourselves.
Right. Hold on, Councilman, please. Solicitor?
Yes, Madam Chair, if I could just interject here briefly. First of all, gentlemen, are you still represented by Attorney McHugh?
Yes.
Okay.
He's stuck in the airplane.
Okay, I understand. And just for the committee's edification, I did have a conversation with Attorney McHugh maybe shortly after the last meeting, and we discussed some of these issues. And I certainly don't want to usurp his role here. Just one other thing I'd like to point out to you gentlemen, that there's also another issue that the committee needs to deal with, apart from the complaints of the neighbors, which clearly are not your fault. However, you should be aware, and I discussed this with your attorney, that there may be an issue with regard to whether or not there is a house of worship or a church or a school that is operating somewhere in that building, because if it is, it would be, hang on, let me finish, hang on. It would be within 200 feet of your establishment. Rhode Island law would not allow a liquor license to be issued. So again, I'm not offering legal advice by any means, but to bolster what Chairwoman Haroyan is saying, this committee and the administration need to do a little bit more investigation here to see if that's true. Hang on. Just to see if that's true. No one is assuming that. No one is anecdotally saying that's the case. We operate on facts, not on what we hear and so on and so forth. But you should be aware that that issue is out there. I believe your attorney is aware of it. And I just want to just point that out to the committee as well as to the applicants.
So yes, I spoke with the lawyer about this and yeah, we spoke about the church, the actual legit church, and he said it was 500 feet away from us.
What about the back of your building where there's, I think it's on the door? The door? Is that a place of worship?
I don't think they came up to the conclusion. I think, is this what we're talking about?
Well, now is not the time or the place to debate this, and I didn't bring it up for that purpose. I simply am saying that this is an issue. There are actually two churches located in that vicinity, and your attorney is correct. Those churches seem to be well beyond 200 feet. But this is a development which I'm not sure has any legitimacy. I don't know until we investigate. I'm just putting it out there, that's all. I'm not concluding anything one way or the other, neither is the committee.
But we will never.
But it has to be addressed.
Totally, 100%. We'll never try to break any laws or anything. Whatever it works, it works.
So, all right, clerk, did we receive a lease or a sales agreement?
If I may interject again, I apologize, Madam Chair. I did see what I believe was a purchase and sale agreement. Can I say that, Rose? One moment. It actually is a lease agreement between, says the sole proprietor, who is Hamoud El Laham and Donna LLC.
That's the previous. That's the owner at the, for the moment.
So this lease that was attached, is this your lease?
It's
Okay,
between us and them.
but I'm confused. I thought you were purchasing the,
We are also purchasing the property.
and leasing.
And
I see, okay.
And we want to take over.
So just for the committee's, again, edification, under Rhode Island law, if the applicant does have a premises that's identified, it could be a lease, it could be a purchase and sale, they could still apply. However, having said that, it doesn't really help us here tonight because that's not the issue tonight. The issue is, well, all of the issues that have been mentioned. But yeah, the lease, this would be sufficient in a perfect world if everything else was lining up. Yeah, this would be acceptable, but this is not the issue. But we do have it.
So basically, we're trying to prepare everything so we can get our licenses. So as soon as the purchase goes through, and it's part of the problem that we're talking about. Like, we've been trying to buy this property for probably 6 months. So things keeps holding us back.
Are you still gonna buy the property if a liquor license is not granted?
We're gonna have to talk about this. But that's what we were trying to. And we're not trying to go make a crime scene. We're not trying to make a party city or anything like this. We have very respectful businesses. We do this businesses very respectfully, and we don't.
I think this will be an opportunity for this part of town to be improved, for it to be a more sit-down restaurant place.
It's not a party thing.
Yeah, we're not doing party. We're taking a
It's a
whole
regular
different
restaurant, like
direction.
any restaurant in Cranston or anywhere and around.
We just
town.
need a chance, you know, maybe we could, whatever it is, but we just need a chance to be able to prove ourselves. And if we don't get this,
But we're totally not asking for anything more than a regular thing, very basic regular thing, regular restaurant with regular liquor license. And we don't even have to do the entertainment. We're not trying to do entertainment. We apply.
Madam Chair, may I make a suggestion?
we're
Can I
gonna-
make a suggestion? Yep, no, that wasn't a suggestion. If I may, through the chair, before I was on the council, I was on the zoning board for 7 years. I was lucky enough to be the chair for a little while. And many, many times we had neighbors, that came before the board in a similar situation. There were problems with a parcel, whether it was with old owners, new owners, that were trying to take over a specific place, whether it was commercial or residential. And the neighbors in the surrounding area, voiced their concerns. And the members of the zoning board oftentimes would suggest, usually to the applicant's attorney, listen, take a month and, would be on the new applicant, talk to your neighbors and see if you can facilitate through some sort of meeting. I don't want to call it, arbitration or, I can't think of the word right now, but, it's just basically have a little meeting with the people that are here because they have issues. I don't live there. I live far enough away where if I approve this.
I do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know you do. I don't live there. And frankly, I'm not voting on this right now, but there are people that live around you that need to know that you are going to operate in good faith and you are going to make some positive changes. And they are the ones that are going to convince us that you've made an effort. So I agree with the chairwoman's assessment that this should be continued. And whether you lease the property or buy the property, if you're going to operate the business there, right, it would behoove you to have a liquor license. Sure, you're going to make more money. You're going to be able to do more. And frankly, you're going to make more money for the city. But it doesn't behoove the neighborhood in Cranston as a whole if the people that live there, those people that are behind you, aren't satisfied. So my suggestion is, and I got a good feeling that this is going to get continued another month. In that month, right, when we all come back here again in May, these people are going to come back and they're going to tell us what happened. And if they are convinced that you're going to do what you say you're going to do, it's going to make this committee's job a lot easier. If they're not convinced, it's still going to make this committee's job a lot easier. So that's my suggestion to you. Have a little, what's the word I'm thinking of? A little meeting. Yeah, like a town hall, like a committee meeting, it's not arbitration, but I'll blurt the word out 3 agenda items from now. But that way, they get to sleep there at night. You know what I'm saying?
I don't disagree with you.
So.
And I totally agree. And I think their problem will become our problem. And their problem right now is with the previous owner if we take over.
And I get that, and I've
If
seen
we
it
take
before.
over,
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, they'll be very happy. But I don't disagree with you with anything you just said.
Well, you can wish in one hand and do something else in the other and see which gets filled first, right?
I mean,
We
the
all
guy-
wish
the
that
guy-
that's the case,
guy-
but they gotta be
the guy's
convinced, and so do
operating
we.
Right now, and the guy, they having big problems with a guy they're already having problem with the guy that's operating. We're trying to make things better.
Right.
I don't know, I don't see. the
I
problem.
understand that at this point. I think what I should do is continue these 3 requests right now. Let you guys get what you need to, so next time you come before us, the main concern to me is the fire inspection. That needs to be done. And maybe with the liquor license, maybe it be applied till 9, 10, what business do you own on Federal Hill?
Pure Lounge, we're opening right now in Crown, Providence, right up the street.
That's less residential. As you know, you're familiar with this building. The back parking lot is directly across the street from 4 houses, Lexington. Last summer, at 2:30 in the morning, I received an email, another one at 3:30, because there was a party in the parking lot. I live 5 streets away. We could hear it from my deck at 3:00 in the morning. So obviously, there's a big concern here, but we need this business to open up, to work safely, and to be great to the neighborhood. We want to see you succeed, but we want everything followed, so you're protected, the city's protected, and so the neighbors can live in their homes and be able to go to bed at night.
Mediation. Mediation was the word I was thinking of.
I would not do business if you guys are concerned. I promise you that.
Council President?
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Haroyan. I know this is your area, and I think it's important this evening just to point out that all you're asking and all this committee is seeking is that this business meet the same standards as every other business in the city of Cranston and nothing different. With that being said, given what the residents have stated in the previous meeting and this meeting this evening, I'm only one person, but my vote, if they come before us for a liquor license when they're looking for these other licenses, I am not going to be in favor of that. I want to see proof that they are taking over the business and it is operating in compliance and that the neighbors don't have any issues for an extended period of time. And then I would consider a liquor license. But I can tell you right now, I am not in favor of that right out the bat, right out the gate. Thank you.
Could we at least, just because before the closing can happen, so we're assured at least to be able to be a restaurant without without the liquor, could we at least apply right now without the liquor and then come back, prove ourselves, and then postpone the liquor?
I'd be more comfortable with everything being postponed till next month. And then, you need to get the fire inspection and make sure everything's in order.
Sorry?
Still waiting on the Department of Health also. So, well, you can't open up without the Department of Health and the fire inspection.
I would never open up.
I'm going to ask for a motion to continue this to next month.
Motion to continue. Which one, Kristen, which one? We'll have to go motion to continue the entertainment license. We have to go all three.
Solicitor, can we put all three together, a motion to continue, or do I need to make a motion to bundle first?
Why don't you take them B, C, and D one at a time, if you're gonna continue each one?
So motion to continue item B, indoor entertainment license.
Second.
Any discussion? Yes.
I just want to say that I received a public comment, so I'm going to go ahead and send it to the clerk for the next meeting to be entered into the record.
Sorry, what was it?
A constituent also emailed her with many concerns that lives in my ward about a business getting a liquor license at that location. He just wants it to go on the record so it's formal. Could I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Haroyan? Council President Reno?
Yes.
Could I please have a motion to continue item C, the new Class BV liquor license till next month?
Motion to continue item C, new class BV liquor license.
Second.
Any discussion? Please have a roll call vote.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Haroyan?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
Okay, could I please have a motion to continue the Victorine license?
Motion to continue the victim license.
Second.
Any discussion? Could I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Haroyan?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
So we will see you next month. You could talk to the fire marshal tonight. He is here. Okay, new matters before the committee.
I believe that there were four. If I'm not mistaken, Madam Chair, that had some outstanding issues. What I would do is this. I would take A and B and C. Take those individually, okay? Do A, B, C, and D. When we get down to after artisan bites, I think we can bundle probably 3 through. Yes. Yes, I think it's a little confusing. So let's do one at a time, at least for the first 3. At some point, we'll be able to bundle a bunch of them.
Under new matters, holiday sales license, Blue Mercury, doing business as Blue Mercury, 47 Hillside.
Motion to approve.
Could any discussion? Could I please have a roll call?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Councilman Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
Okay, next item, Phoenix Restaurant and Lounge, 961 Dyer Avenue, entertainment license, Friday through Saturday, 10 to 1 a.m.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Could I please have a roll call?
Actually, Councilwoman Horoyan, I have my hand, that's okay. The chair, if I can address, Councilman Andahar, are you okay with that time frame? So that's your ward and just, sometimes we give pause when entertainment is at a later hour. I just want to defer to you. It is indoor though, but.
Don't find any of the council people want to say anything? Ms. Bonanno, good? Mr. Ritz, you're good? Everybody good?
Okay, nope, that's fine. If the ward council person's good with it, I'm good with it.
All right,
Thanks.
can I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
Okay, next is septic cola license, Clear Choice Stream Drains. Is anyone here from them tonight? Okay. Could I please have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Could I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
Next item is Anchor Bubba Cafe located at 743 Reservoir Avenue. Could you please come up to the microphone, state your name and your address? Have anything to tell us tonight?
My name is Moni, and our address is 55 Rugby Street, Cranston, Rhode Island. So we just want to ask all the council to be approved our license for the little small business on Reservoir Ave. It's almost a year right now since we have the issue, but now the issue is all fixed, and now my contractor is process the contract permit, and hopefully from there will everything go through. So I just hope for the best.
Clerk, have we received the Department of Health license or certificate of occupancy?
No, we have not.
Are you aware we're waiting for something from the Department of Health and your certificate of occupancy?
Yes, I'll be working on that, but since now we don't know quite sure that we're gonna get approved or not, but right now I do put an application for the State Health Department. Yeah, and this is our first time. I little kind of confused how to do it, what to do it. We're still learning at the same time.
Process?
Yes, our department been working with the gentleman since 7 months ago. He did have some issue navigating through getting all the permits. We are assisting him with the CO, with the building department. The other issue that he has with the health department, with the state, he should be getting it sometime. but we are working with him, so he could get his business started. Mhm.
May I
Direct-
ask for a motion to approve subject to?
Well, just one question, Director, do we have any type of time frame as to when those two things may be addressed?
We don't know about the state, the health department and division of taxation. We'll be waiting for the outstanding letter to come. But aside from the city, we are working and the director of building department is aware of this case.
Well, Madam Chair, I mean, clearly it's within the discretion of the committee if you want to grant it subject to. I would just caution the committee that it seems that this may take longer than 30 days, in which case it might make more sense to continue this to see where we are than just a suggestion.
Could I please have a motion to continue this till next month?
Motion to continue for 1 month.
Second.
Any discussion? Could I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz.
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante, Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Councilwoman Haroyan,
Yes.
Council President Reno.
Yes.
So that will give you a month to keep working on these items and to come back next month.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next item is Artesian Bites, 1375 Park Ave. Is anyone here? Please come up to the mic.
Hello.
Hello, do you have anything you want to let us know?
No.
Okay,
Ashley Bovee, and it's 51 Norfolk Street in Cranston.
neighbor. Yes. All right, clerk, have we received the Department of Health license or the same thing, certificate of occupancy?
No, we haven't.
Where you're mixing both of those items?
Yep, so they're inspecting next week.
Okay, and what about the certificate of occupancy?
Nope, not yet, so I'm waiting for an inspection.
Okay. Have you been operating without these? No?
No, I have a catering license and a food truck, so I have a Department of Health license under that. But this is a separate entity, just because I'm keeping them different for tax purposes.
Perfect. Okay, so you don't have anything scheduled. I could continue this over till next month when you had everything in order?
Yeah, they said to come anyway. I spoke to the clerk and they said come anyway, and then they possibly could approve
Perfect.
it pending the approval of DOH.
You do have a health inspection scheduled for next week?
I do. It's for next week. She's coming next Wednesday.
Solicitor?
Yeah, I would suggest the same action as the prior applicant. Whenever you see certificate of occupancy per zoning, that's a little more involved than just obtaining a certificate of good standing or some type of clearance. That I'm not suggesting anything nefarious. I'm just saying usually it's a little more involved, the issue. So I would suggest doing the same thing.
So it was a cafe prior. It was a boba tea place. I'm just changing it into like a cafe with espresso and lattes.
It's just my suggestion. I think it makes
Right.
sense. I mean, obviously, if she was prepared, if these things were going to be clarified in the next week, I would say, yeah, sure, do it subject to, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
When were you planning to open?
I was hoping for May 1st, but it all depends on this meeting.
Have you already announced the grand opening?
Not publicly, but kind of like a soft opening, just because I already have a health license. I know not under this, but I'm operating as a caterer right now. It's been about a
Okay.
year.
Yeah. Council President?
Thank you. From past experience, I do think, as disappointing as it would be, I think it's essential that we continue it a month, because the last thing you would want to do is advertise an opening for May 1st, not get the certificate of occupancy, and then that's a bigger problem. It's best to continue this a month.
I'm going to ask for a movement to continue this till next month.
Motion to continue.
Second.
Any discussion?
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz, Councilman Trafficante, Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Councilwoman Haroyan,
Yes.
Council President Reno.
Yes.
Please feel free to reach out to me if you need help with any of this. Also, the Director Paolino is here, so we can all work on this, so you can have a beautiful grand opening, and I will be there for you. Welcome.
So, Madam Chair, if I might suggest that items 3 through 14 can be taken as a bundle. And the reason I say that is because if you'll notice, per solicitor, there's a notation there that even though they're required to hold the victualling license, all of these businesses, without exception, basically sell packaged type foods. It's not prepared foods. So that's why they don't have to attend the meeting. They're not required. But I believe under the law, they're still required to have the victualling license, but they can be bundled. I would say 3 through 14, and then we can deal with 15.
May I please have,
I got it. Motion to take 3 through 14 as a block.
Second.
any discussion? May I please have a vote?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Motion
Yes.
to approve the block.
May I have a second?
Second.
Please have a vote.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
Okay, item number 15 is HHB of Cranston Incorporated doing business as Sonic, 777 Cranston Street. Is there anyone here from Sonic? Hello, do you have anything to tell us?
My name is Dustin DeBoer, 618 Main Street, Coventry. DeBoer, D-E-B-O-E-R. No worries. Nothing to add, just looking for approval for, just looking for approval for the victualling license, just pending the Rhode Island Health Department inspection, which we are ready for.
Have you had it scheduled yet?
Haven't scheduled, I have a checklist from Department of Health and we've done everything, but I'm ready to call as of tomorrow. And she said she's about a week out to come out there for us.
All right, and you're not operating now, correct?
Not operating now, looking to be open by April 22nd.
Or April 22nd?
Yes.
All right, so I could ask for a continuation till,
Well, again, up to the committee, but this is a little bit of a different situation than the others. The gentleman indicates that he may have an appointment as soon as a week to 10 days. Rather than keep him waiting until the first week of May, perhaps the committee would consider granting it subject to production of the certificate of good, the certificate from the Department of Health, the approval.
Motion to approve, subject to receiving the Rhode Island Department of Health license.
Second.
any discussion? May I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Madam Chair, you could take 16, 17, and 18 as a block if the committee so likes.
Could I please have a motion to take them as a block?
Motion to take 16, 17, and 18 as a block.
Second.
Any discussion? May I please have a vote on the block?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
May I please have a motion to approve the block?
Motion to approve the block.
Second.
Any discussion? May I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
Next item, Wienerama Legacy doing business as Wienerama, 1009 Oakland Ave. Is there anyone here? Please state your name and your address.
Good evening, Christopher Tasca, 55 Lantern Hill Drive, Cranston, Rhode Island, 02921.
Eric Bonet, 17 Vincent Way, Cranston, Rhode Island, 02921.
Are you aware you're missing the Department of Health inspection? Is that scheduled?
Yes, I'm aware we're missing it. My application licensing was submitted 3/31. They told me in 2 weeks somebody would reach out. If they don't, to call them. So that's what I'm waiting on.
You have a date you're hoping in?
We were hoping to open the first week of May. Yeah.
So could I please ask to approve this subject to them provided?
Sure.
Okay,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Motion to approve, subject to receiving the Rhode Island Department of Health license.
Second.
any discussion? Council President?
I will be in favor of the motion to approve, subject to the Rhode Island Department of Health license, which hopefully you will receive before May 1st. Otherwise, you will not be able to conduct that opening. So just be aware of that. And I just want to wish you luck. There's been a lot of anticipation and excitement with the resurgence of Wienerama. So hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thanks.
Okay, we all look forward to seeing you there. Don't forget to invite us to the grand opening. May I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan? Council President Reno?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Madam Chair, the items under letter E may be taken as a block, the mobile food establishments.
Motion to take the mobile food establishments 1 through 4 as a block.
Second.
And please ask for a roll call vote for taking them as a block.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
May I please have a motion to approve
Motion
the
to
block?
approve the block.
Second.
Any discussion? May I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Councilman
Yes.
Trafficante? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan? Council President Reno?
Yes.
Madam Chair, the next grouping is the renewals. The renewals are customarily always taken as a block. I would say a motion would be appropriate with the exclusion of G number 5, which is pet supplies plus, because there seems to be an issue regarding city taxes. So it would be appropriate for a motion to take all the renewals as a block with the exception of G5.
Motion to take license renewals as a block with the exception of G5.
So moved.
Any discussion? May vote on taken as a block.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
May I please have a motion to approve the block?
Motion to approve the block.
Second.
Any discussion? May I please have a roll call?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
Okay, under holiday sales license, number 5. Pet Supplies Plus, 171 Saconaset Cross Road. Is anyone here from them? No. Can I please have a motion to continue?
Motion to continue.
Second.
Any discussion? May I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan? Council President Reno?
Yes.
Now under.
I believe those are all included on the renewals. So you're up to, I believe, monthly schedules, I believe. Just a motion to accept that into the record.
Motion to enter A, B, and C into the record.
Second.
Discussion. May I please have a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Councilwoman Orion? Council President Reno?
Yes.
Oh, under communications, we have door-to-door soliciting. That's just for our informational purposes. We do not need to vote on that. Licenses approved, subject to not yet issued. Does anyone have any questions about those tonight? Nope. Adjournment, all in favor?
Motion
Aye.
to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All in nay. It's adjourned.
At this time, I'd like to say good evening and welcome to the April 7th Finance Committee meeting. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Present.
Councilman Andujar,
Present.
Councilman Ritz,
Yes, present.
Councilman Trafficante, Councilwoman Horoyan,
Present.
Council Vice President Wall,
Here.
Council President Reno.
Present.
All right, thank you. Next item of business is going to be the approval of minutes. At this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the March 3rd regular meeting.
Second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? There being none, can I ask the clerk to please call the roll?
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz.
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan, Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Reno.
Thank you. This time I'm going to entertain a motion to approve of the minutes of the March 24th, 2025 special meeting.
Motion to approve minutes of March 24th, 2025 special meeting.
Second.
Is there any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar.
Yes.
Councilman Ritz, Councilman Trafficante.
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Reno.
Yes.
Okay, under committee business matters carried over, there is none. Correspondences, there are none. The next item of business will be public comment. If anybody is here in the chamber who would like to make public comment on docketed matters only, please step up to the podium. You will have 4 minutes, and I'd like you to state your name and your address for the record.
Good evening, Council. My name is Arthur Jordan, 35 Lincoln Park Avenue. I'm the business manager of the Rhode Island Laborers District Council, and I'm also the business manager for Local 1322. And I believe our contract for Local 1322 is on your agenda. And I urge you to pass that contract. I think it's fair for the taxpayers of Cranston, which I'm a resident of Cranston my entire life. I think I'm a 4th generation. So it's fair for the taxpayers, and it's also fair for your employees, my members. So I urge you to pass that contract. Took a long time to negotiate because the city was protecting those taxpayers and I was protecting my members. But in the end, we came to a fair contract that I think everyone is happy with, and I hope this council is. Also, we have an enormous, important position as the 2nd largest city in Cranston to fill. Department of Public Works Director. I think we have a qualified candidate. And what I like about it, he too is a Cranston resident. So he has a special interest in Cranston, I would think. So I urge you to put, to pass him onto this important job. He's been there temporarily and he's done a very good job. He has the experience. He's got over 32 years of experience. It's a position the 2nd largest city in the state cannot go without anymore. We can't keep going with temporary. Sooner or later, we got to fill it. And I hope we do. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone else in chamber who'd like to speak on agenda matters? Come on up.
Good evening. My name is Gary De Silva, 55 Mays Corn Road in Portsmouth, Rhode Island. I am the Assistant Business Agent for the Teamsters Local 251. I too want to encourage the committee to pass this contract. We've been negotiating from May until January. There's a hard contract negotiation on both sides. I think we both negotiated in good faith and we came to what I consider a very solid contract. So I hope you will take that into consideration when you vote tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who'd like to make public comment this evening? Seeing none, Tom, is there anyone online who'd like to make public comment?
There's no public comment online.
Thank you, Tom. So at this time, I'm going to close public comment. And At this time, I'm going to ask for a motion. I'm going to be looking for a motion to take the agenda out of order.
Motion to take the agenda out of order.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante? Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to move on to item, make sure I get this correctly. Item 8, council member communication. We're going to start with item 8. We're going to start with Council President Marino.
Thank you, Councilman Wall, Council Vice President Wall. To Director Zadelis, I don't know if there's any change since the last meeting relative to the status of federal funding appropriated to the city.
Through the chair to the council president, there is no update. I did a quick survey today relative to the departments that are the recipient of grants, just double checking. And to date, there is no notice about any administrative changes on a federal level adversely affecting any of our grants.
Thank you. Then I have, as was up last month, the list from the city solicitor to the finance committee as to all pending lawsuits, because those are not confidential, just listing the cases. And Solicitor Malay, I know at the last meeting you indicated the monthly legal expense report you believe encompasses that. I noticed at the city council meeting with that legal expense report, there were some additional bills anyway provided relative to, I think it was Lepizera's office, which I know had some pending actions. And I just don't know if there's anything else you want to add in terms of whether or not we could have a listing of the cases with the attorneys of record.
So I'll answer that. Thank you, Council President. I'll answer that in stages as to your questions. The bill or billing for Mr. Lapizera's office, Lapicina and Lapizera, apparently, just to explain that to the members of the council, yourself and to the members of the council, that firm has done an enormous amount of work over the years from for the city of Cranston. And in the course of converting their billing system, they came out with a number of items which had indicated that had never been paid by the city, and some of it dated back, some of it was relatively current, but a lot of it dated even prior to Mayor Hopkins' administration and to the prior administration. I had the opportunity to sit down with the principals of that firm, and we went through all the bills, and through negotiations, we settled all of the pending billing at a reduced rate for what appeared on the last legal report. It was approximately, and I don't have it in front of me, Madam President, but I think it was approximately $52,000, which was, in fairness, quite a reduction and a bonus to the city, because their billing did show quite an excess to that amount. So that firm is current with the law department. So I expect no further bills, at least at this point in time, because as of right now, they have no pending matters with the law department. That could change, as I've explained to members of the council, tomorrow, if something comes in the door and they are retained again by the city. So there's that part of your question. As I indicated, I've been trying to keep track of all of the pending matters before the city. I've been able to put something in a spreadsheet, and I'm happy to share it. It would be confidential, so I'd be happy to share it by email, with the understanding that not one member of this committee or the council would share it outside. I did try to, in fairness, print up a copy, but as Councilman Trafficante is wearing his earpieces, we'd all need binoculars. I cannot figure out how to change the font, and I need to speak with Anna in my office to see if she can change it I can do it on my computer, and if I send it out, everyone could do it the same way. I just cannot figure out how to print it. And I've got the relevant portions which were requested by each member at the last meeting, as far as who is representing, what the claims are, what's public, what's not public within this document. So I'm happy to share it, just please with the caveat to members of the council that that is privileged information and cannot be shared outside. And then I think that that handles everything that you're asking at this point in time, Madam President. If you have any further, I'm sorry, if you have any further questions, please, obviously.
That would be great. And then just for executive session, we can have some other discussions about particularly potential settlements that may be coming up, things like that, that would be confidential. We could speak in executive session with pending litigation.
Yeah, I would say, Madam President, I don't think as of tonight, there's nothing to discuss, nothing on the horizon. There are two things coming in the door, but they haven't been even answered. One thing actually came in today, and I'm not even sure the nature of it. It was just served on the city. So I'm not sure if, I have nothing further to add tonight, whether it be an executive or not, unless the Madam President, you want to provide something specifically.
Yeah, again, the point of it being an executive session is that we as council members may have specific questions with pending litigation that is not privy to the public. And I know I myself do, but I cannot disclose what those
Yep,
questions
all
are
right,
in
then
public
I'll-
session
I'll-
relative to settlement and
Happy to stick
and
around.
litigation. So that'd be great. Thanks.
Happy to stick around. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, Council Vice President Wall, I see Councilwoman Graziano has her hand up. Thanks.
Councilwoman Graziano.
Thank you. Can I just ask a question about bill payment? Is that allowed to ask that question right now? Sure, whoever can answer it.
Meaning for the legal department or just in general?
Well, for this legal department account, I guess I'm confused. I've never heard of this before. So you can pay legal bills outside the fiscal year with no approval, and who signs that and says those are legitimate bills if it was prior to this administration?
So as the head of the law department, I have the approval to settle all claims from the city. So if we're specifically speaking what we just did about that firm, okay, when that matter came up, it was reviewed, it was discussed. I'm not going to get into discussions on the record, if you will, about, and they had a valid, number one, reason for why they hadn't billed, number one, but number two, they had a contract with the city. So if I had said, no, I'm not paying you, it was back to the prior administration, they technically probably have a 10-year statute of limitations to come after us. So for their bills, and they had provided the legal work. They actually provided us with the benefit of reducing their bills in order to settle it.
I just want to make sure there's checks and balances here and that somebody's legitimizing the bills and paying them in the appropriate time.
Oh, under normal conditions, it never goes out that far. Apparently, that was through no fault of the city, and there was a reasonable explanation as to why they had some outstanding bills. You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Okay, then we'll move right along. On the next item, we're going to entertain a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 42465A2 pertaining to prospective and actual litigation matters. Also 42465A2 pertaining to collective bargaining. Is there a motion?
So move.
Any discussion? Being none, clerk, would you please call a roll?
Councilwoman Haroyan? I'm sorry, Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante? Councilwoman Haroyan? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
Very good. We're in executive session now. right, this time I'm gonna entertain a motion to return to the open session.
Second.
Discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
So let me just state for the record that there were no votes taken during the executive session, and at this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to seal the executive session minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? There being none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to go back to page 2. We're going to go under item 7, new matters before the committee. Under ordinances, this time I'm going to entertain a motion to approve of ordinance 03-2501, ratifying the Teamsters Local 251 collective bargaining agreement that serves between July 1st, 2024 and June 30th, 2027. Is there a motion?
So, second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Moving right along, next item of business, we're looking for a motion to approve of ordinance 03-2502, ratifying the Liuna Local 1322 collective bargaining agreement, which serves between July 1st, 2024 and June 30th, 2027. Is there a motion?
Second.
Is there any discussion? There being none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
All right, let's see, moving right along. Under B, resolutions, there are none. Item C, real estate tax abatements. It was provided in your packet. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Okay.
Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
Okay. There are no motor vehicle tax abatements. There are no tangible tax abatements. Moving down to item F would be tax interest waiver approvals. It was provided in your packet. Is there a motion to approve?
Moved.
Second.
Second?
Second.
Did not hear. Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
Okay, there are no tax interest waiver denials. We're going to move on to item H, Tax Assessment Board of Review. It was provided in your packet. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
The chair, that's just for information.
My bad, I did not look at the fine print, so we do not have to take a vote on it, but thank you for making the motion anyway. Next item is going to be advice and consent of Mayor Hopkins' appointment of Frank Carrero as Director of the Department of Public Works. Is anybody from the administration going to speak about? Director.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, whenever we have nominees, I tend to sit in the peanut gallery. No, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to do this. It is my pleasure to introduce and request your advice and consent to appoint, as Mr. Jordan said, a fellow Cranstonian. Mr. Creel wishes to be, and the mayor wishes to be, the next Public Works Director for the city. Frank comes to us with a distinguished career of public service and professional experience in civil engineering for over 3 decades. In public service, Frank had an impressive career as a professional engineer and still is, and was a significant member of the executive management team of the Rhode Island Department of Transportation. Frank's resume that you have been provided with speaks for itself. Frank joined RIDOT in 1985 and retired from there after a long career in December of 2017. He held many first line in management positions, from that of highway engineer to chief civil engineer to deputy chief engineer of construction and stormwater management. Frank started off as a staff engineer and had management responsibilities for hundreds of employees. The list goes on. In short, as far as governmental civil engineering is concerned, Frank has done just about everything, and importantly, everything pertinent to the needs of the city of Cranston. The role of the Public Works Director is in part to direct the divisions of engineering, building maintenance, fleet maintenance, highway, refuse, stormwater, and sewer. The director must be able to set clear goals and execute them accordingly. This is a unique position that requires technical knowledge and management experience to lead one of the state's largest cities and largest departments within the city of Cranston. Frank Correo has already proven to be extremely capable. He has done so given his decades of service at RIDOT, and most recently over the past few months with our Public Works Department. He has been instrumental on a part-time basis, ensuring that our essential city services continue, and they have. Frank checks all the boxes when it comes to being a Public Works Director for the city. We would be fortunate to have him. Some may have the impression that the salary for this position proposed before you lies in the higher range of compensation with the city. This compensation for the city of Cranston seems high relative to our very low administrative pay rates. Please note, however, that Frank has offered to forego over $27,000 of medical and dental benefit costs with the city in place of incremental salary. If we break out the cost of $27,000 for benefits from the proposed total compensation, that would equate to an annual salary of less than $145,000. Even at the total compensation amount, that salary will still be low for someone with the depth and breadth of experience of Mr. Correo. In order to further put compensation into perspective, the city paid total compensation in 2024 in excess of $172,000 to 19 police officers and in excess of $172,000 to 17 firefighters. In 2024, total compensation of $145,000 or greater was paid to 50 police officers and 47 firefighters. Although the proposed salary for this position appears to be towards the higher end at first blush, the reality is that it is not unusual for the city to compensate specialized employees competitively. Cranston has a unique opportunity to acquire the talent, experiences, and character of such a qualified individual. Mayor Hopkins respectfully requests your approval for advice and consent of Frank Correo. I ask Frank to please come forward unless you have any questions of me.
Thank you. Thank you, Director. Mr. Correo, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. As Tony has said, I have a significant amount of experience as it relates to dealing with public works. with my career with the Department of Transportation. I've been there since 1985 and worked right through till 2017, holding those different positions that Tony had mentioned. One of the key things to keep in mind is my last several years, 11 of the years of that, were head of construction operations. Construction operations with some of the projects that the state has dealt with would have been something like the demolition of the Jamestown Bridge, the construction of the Secundit River Bridge, the relocation of the I-195 in Providence. So several of those major projects were all overseen by myself and the 190 plus staff members that I had during my life at the Department of Transportation. If you were to ask me 6 months ago, would I be standing here trying to take a position as a full-time position? I'd say you had to be crazy. But I had been asked to come in to fill in. During that time, I actually acquired a liking for what the work was, for dealing with the people. And I think I have a lot to offer the community that I've been a member of since, over the past 40 years. So having said that, if you have any questions of me, I'm here to answer any questions, and I will do the best I can for the community.
Mr. Carrero, thank you very much. And before I open the floor for questions, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask the finance director, if you would please step up, and I'm sure you're gonna, sorry there. Then the only question would be, we can afford this? This is within our budget? I didn't see anything in the packet. That's why I'm asking you.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, the funding for this fiscal year is covered, and if you look in the FY '26 budget, we have proposed 172,000 in next year's budget for this position.
Thank you, Director. I certainly, before I open the floor, I read your resume. You come well regarded and well experienced. So with that said, any discussion or questions for Mr. Grady? Mr. Trafficant.
Frank, when I first hired Peter Alvidi years ago, we had to pay for his professional certification as well. So you're welcome aboard. We need a professional person in that particular job because you're basically in charge of 5 divisions, which are very critical to the city of Cranston. So welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Bonanno.
I just want to mention something that Tony didn't and Frank didn't. I got a chance to know Mr. Correo because of his service to the city on the zoning board. When I was the chair, he was on for, I think, 3 or 4 years, and then he had been on previously and came back after sitting off for a few years. And I just know Mr. Correo to be responsible. I know him to be very intelligent. I know him to know his issues, and I know him to do his homework. Since he has been acting director, I've had, a few questions, and, they're always answered immediately. And I'm always confident that I got all the information that I needed, and he's there to help all of us. So I, for one, am very supportive of Mr. Correo. I think he's be an asset to our city. And, while I don't have a vote tonight, when this comes to the full council, you can count on my support as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Andujar, I got you.
I want to thank you. I mean, during the past snowstorms, the team over there at DPW did a great job, and that was under a part-time schedule. So I could just, imagine with a full-time schedule, the work you're going to do. But I do want to thank Paul McCauley because you have big shoes to fill, because in this brief time that he was serving over there, he did a great job. So I just want to welcome you to the team.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Graziano.
Thank you. Just want to say that I believe the DPW director is one of the most important positions in any town, city. I work with the DPW on a regular basis, and I have been advocating for a higher salary for a long time. I think it's a big position, and I personally have no problem supporting that. I can't imagine what it takes to be the director of a city with 80,000 people in it. So I fully support it, and I also hope we can work on stormwater together.
Councilman Ritz.
Just add on, thank you for doing this. Very excited to have you aboard. And I heard from 2 constituents already with letters of praise for you. The most recent one was Fox Run. You helped with a stone wall issue. It was an odd one. It probably jumps out to you.
Yeah.
But thank you for everything you've already been doing.
Council President.
Thank you. I will be in support of this evening. Mr. Correo, you have conducted yourself in a way that I'm looking forward to your taking on this role full-time. I've had the honor of having some conversations with you at some community meetings relative to some public works issues, and we've had some good discussions there, and I look forward to your service. Your expertise in the area is going to, be very put to good use here in the city of Cranston, and I think that that's great. The one question I have for the administration, and I may have missed it, and forgive me, is this position beginning in the next fiscal year? So the salary will commence in the next fiscal year? I just want to make sure I'm clear on that.
No, we hope he would start after hopeful approval at the end of this month. The funds are there when you combine. We remember we still have an outstanding chief engineer position outstanding, so there won't be a problem funding this position this year.
Okay, the reason why I asked that question was for clarification, because I want to make sure we get it right, and I could be completely wrong in this. Previously, when we've had these situations, the budget, there was an amendment before the council to amend the budget for that corresponding salary. So I just want to make sure that may not be needed, but I just want to make sure that we dot our i's and cross our t's and make sure that we've done it procedurally correct in order to implement the correct salary. Again, I'm in favor of the increase. I just want to make sure it's done correctly. Thanks.
I understand the question. I'll tell you what I believe the answer is. I can have it validated. Perhaps if we had Mr. Verdecchia here, or but I believe the answer is, as long as the funds in DPW overall within the department are within budget, it would not be an issue. I'll confirm that. I understand your position about the salary schedule, but I'd be happy to check in on that. Thank you.
Yeah, and we have time between now and the council meeting to figure that out. So if we need to correct it, we can schedule the meetings and get that corrected. Thanks. Yep.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. quick
Councilman
question.
Trafficani?
Anthony, are you basically saying that you're going to forego hiring a professional engineer in addition, so you're combining the positions together?
No, Mayor. We intend to hire the chief engineer. In fact, it's necessary, truly. Given the timing of that vacancy for a long period of time, the funds overall in the department are available to hire that chief engineer. But no, we fully intend to staff that position.
Any further questions or discussion? I see none. So at this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to approve of Mayor Hopkins' appointment of Frank Carrero as Director of Department of Public Works. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? There being none, clerk, please call a roll.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horoyan?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And if I'm not mistaken, there is no further business before this committee, so I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
The motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed signify by saying nay. The ayes have it. Thank you and good night.